What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Saturday edition, the weekend edition of OCRC, brought to you by Reefs RC and brought to you by Pablo G. Here live streaming on YouTube with Pablo Guerrero. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, brother. New look, huh?
And new look, people watching, and we have a third head on the three-headed Hydra here this morning. I don't know if everybody can see our guest yet, can they, Pablo?
Oh yeah, everyone's on.
Andre, what's going on, buddy?
Yes.
From SMS. How are you, man?
Doing good.
Good, buddy. Good. Yeah, we're looking a little nicer and sharper than usual, hiding our rough edges thanks to Pablo's fancy graphic design here.
Does look cool.
I think it looks cool, man. And Andre, thanks for joining us, man. I know it's early bells. I say that most Saturdays because the time difference. Remind everybody where you're at in the States. Are you close to Pablo or
California?
Nice.
No, I'm further.
Nice. Okay. Cutting out a bit there, guys. I don't know if you guys can still hear me on the audio.
Oh, I got you.
Oh yeah, you're coming in clear.
Awesome. Yeah, boys. So the fall is here, and I've retreated into my man cave, aka the house here, a little bit. It's indoor racing season, but things are still moving along. What's going on? What's going on there? Let's go around the horn, Pablo. What's going on, buddy?
Well, we've got the monster truck competition going on. That's going to be quite the endeavor. First, as far as I know, the first of its kind in this kind of thing. I heard there was something kind of like it that Kevin Talbot did, but I don't know if it was the same. I haven't really had time to research it. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be pretty epic. We've got a lot of cool people doing it. So we got that. I've got an enduro build going right now. I've got a couple other ideas that I have that are floating around in this gourd, trying to figure out what's going on next. And I actually, on my way out this morning for coffee, I realized with this whole new platform that we got, I can actually plant a camera out on the trail or on the track and go live on the track from the
Wow.
So I was like, oh, man. Yeah.
You have live commentary for the burrito bash, right?
Yeah.
That's right, man. Andre, be careful. He's going to plant cameras on us. We're not even going to know
it. Well, that's the cool thing now. So now the way I have it set up is that you guys can actually see the production. So like right now, like if I drop this, you can see that going across the bottom of your screen. So Andre, before it was blind. So before they, Jeff and whoever, I could see the production, but everyone else couldn't see what was going on. So now it's like, oh yeah, we got everything. So it's pretty cool.
That is cool. The little ticker on the
official.
Makes it better for the viewers for sure, man. Yeah. Andre, man, so thanks for coming back on with us. I think this is the second time you've been on with the both of us. I know you and Pabs are cooking up some hot jambalaya, some secret stuff going on there. It seems like you guys are always up to no good. What's going on your right now, man? Your adventure. What's going on, buddy?
Actually working on it just now, countersinking some holes for our element to Capra Conversion kit. I actually sent one out to Pablo. I don't know if you got it yet, but should be.
Not yet.
I sent it 3 days. Yeah, it should be there. Hopefully today. Just working on new stuff all the time. Pablo's got some cool ideas too. He actually came up with the gusset mount. Those have been doing pretty.
You're breaking up a little bit there, Andre. Are you in an area that doesn't get very good Wi-Fi, or?
Same last time we called.
Yeah.
I'm just in the garage.
Yeah.
I got Jeff crystal clear.
Whew, sorry about that. You don't
now
need to see
I'm bad.
the detail.
Hold on.
Yeah, Andre's better for me now. A little lag, but
I've got he froze on my end.
Oh, it's frozen now too, yeah. hopefully we can get him back here. But Pods, you so I've been, I'm all over the place. Did we lose
No,
lost
that's
me now?
fine. Nope, don't worry. I got
Cool.
you.
I've been all over the
Until,
place with stuff. While we try to get Andre back, we'll fill the air
yep,
here. So
yep.
um so I'm all over the place right now. I was up at the track there a few nights ago. Maybe we'll start there because I want to talk about Phoenix a little bit. I know for you guys it's a world away, but I was telling you a story about one of the owners and something that happened the other day there.
Right.
We one of our owners, Philip, got in a really bad car accident, not his fault. Some driver crossed over the center line and just destroyed his car. Broke his leg, broke his arm. He was in surgery for about 5 hours. Thank
Oh,
God he's
man.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was the light. I always look for the silver lining. We're pretty positive guys here.
Sure.
He's still on the chat rooms all over Facebook and the Facebook group that we're on. And he saw me talk and he's like, "Hey, you're never gonna guess what happened." So he's laying there. I don't even know how he's texting with one arm, to be honest. And he's sending me photos of himself in full cast and in his in his robe in the hospital. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy. But good thing you're in good spirits. So we're doing a little something for Philip. We're putting together taking a bit of a collection for him to try to lift his spirits more than anything, help his family through this really, really rough time. But we also had one of our friends of the show, Toronto Leisure RC. I reached out to him and said, "Hey, man, Philip, when Philip does body for his X-rays, because he's an arm road guy or his osmatics, he's a straight one color guy." So I said, can we do something nice for him? Something that looks like Phoenix and branded up a bit. So we did. I gave him a body last night. So this is hilarious. So this is live. So I gave him a body Friday night here. He came to my place. He picked it up. There it is.
Here, hold on. I'll
And
throw
he
you
sent,
in.
yeah,
Go
man.
ahead.
He sent
Keep
me
talking.
those. He sent me those. He sent me a bunch of photos overnight last night because he works overnight like a lot of us in the hobby. It's the time we have. There you go. That is, I think it's the twister body. And he did that overnight, man. I don't even know how he pulled it together. And it's all like, it's not decals. It's
Yeah.
not stickers. It's all airbrushed, man. And I think it looks amazing. I love the kind of sea foam green, I guess you'd call that.
Right.
And that's the Phoenix logo too. So, man, I'm stoked. If Philip watches this, I'm sure he will. I was going to send him the link, so he'll get a preview. But yeah, I just wanted to get that in there, man. Really appreciative of Toronto Leisure RC, our man James Vicente, and all the boys at Phoenix for just being awesome and getting together on this.
That's super rad, man. So if you can hear me, Andre, I see you're in the green room. I'm going to drop you in here again just in a second. So you're on mute right now, so just so you know. But yeah, Jeff, I think that's rad, and that's kind of indicative to like this whole RC community pulling together for each other. It's the kind of thing when someone gets hurt, we try to pull together, get them parts or, help their cause and all that. Do you have, I don't know if there's like a GoFundMe website or anything like that. Do you know of anything like that?
No, what they've done it. They just kind of kept it local to the guys at the track right now. But I mean, it's a good question. I'll find out, especially for people that are local. Yeah.
Is there a website or something they could go to? Like just to see the Phoenix Raceway website?
Just to see Phoenix. I believe it's here. I'm just gonna jump on
because I can throw that on. I can throw that on the screen here.
Phoenix RC Raceway is on Facebook. So
okay.
It's Phoenix Space RC Space Raceway. But they have a Facebook page. They don't really have a website, conventional website. So
okay.
And you can check them on that same handle on Insta as well. So,
awesome. Here, well, let's bring Andre back in here real quick. Let me hang tight here, Andre.
Yep.
Let's see, pull you up this way, and then we're gonna say.
Aha! Is it better? Worse?
Oh, way better.
The same.
Way better for me.
I just had to go to the scale garage, and now it's better.
Nice.
It's all karma, man.
That's funny.
Awesome. Well, cool. So
go ahead, Pat. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, let's kind of pick up where we left off there a little bit. We were kind of talking about the stuff you got cooking up, and you were cutting out a little bit when you were talking about the Capra conversion. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so that's the new thing. Is this? I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, nice.
No, you
That
can't.
is so
Can't see it at
awesome.
all. It's
Oh no, I
terrible.
can.
Um,
Ah,
No, no.
okay. If you turn it,
there we go.
yeah, there you go.
I don't know. Sorry, the camera's struggling. So it's just a servo and axle kit for the element axles, and then the other piece, which I was working on before you guys started this call here, was the actual side plates. Whoop. There we go.
Nice.
Those
So
are
these are
awesome.
going to allow you to adapt your element skid plate and run the Capra cage. So you can get that nice overdrive feature from your element stealth transmission.
So does
That's kind of
that
cool.
mean to like clarify? Does that mean that you drop the frame rails and then you just use your skid plate and hook everything up to your Capra chassis?
It's a super easy conversion. Hopefully we can get a live like conversion done. Basically, you undo the shocks and take the skid out, and yeah, take the whole drivetrain and move it over to a Capra cage, and everything's good shock angles. I've been running this one for probably a couple months now of hard bashing it,
Right,
just testing it.
That's
So
cool,
Awesome.
man. That's
yeah,
super
Pablo should
rad.
be getting his hopefully later today.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
no,
Hopefully.
I have a guy at the shop that'll probably pick that up for me. I was gonna
Excellent.
show you, see if I can throw up a cool display that I'm gonna have here. I don't have it connected to the what's it called, to my heart. Like I don't have it hard set up here yet, but it says it's coming.
Andre, how long does it take you to do a conversion kit like that from sort of like conception of the idea through design to like actual fabrication? Like how long would that one take you?
I've been thinking about this for like 8 or 9 weeks. So I thought about it, and then I started
Okay.
drawing up some templates, and then worked on an actual design. And there's a couple sets of prototype ones with different holes, trying to figure out which one was going to be the best. So what's cool about it is part of the name is like the easy conversion kit. You don't have to adjust any of the lengths. It's just literally bolted on. You don't have to fiddle with any of
Nice.
it. And the wheelbase is the same as it is on an Element. And I set it up next to a Capra, and it's pretty close. It's a little bit shorter, but I mean,
That's cool.
performance-wise, you get the overdrive. You lose the portals, but I'm not a big portal fan, and I'm a big Element fan. So
That's gonna be a big thing for me. So I have been running Gen 8s for since they came out, and they're all portal sized and are portaled axles. The Wendigo isn't portal, but it's 2.2. And then now I'm going to the Element Enduro, which is straight axle, one, and I'm running 1.9s on it. And yeah, man, it's going to be a different driving experience. I'm kind of excited for it. So what I'm really excited for. Oh, go ahead.
how far are you on the kit? As I was watching your live build with you and OMG.
We stopped there and we were gonna do some more. We were actually, she wanted to go live today.
You guys got the rails? You guys got the rails, and that's about it?
Yep. So today she really likes the gears. So today we're gonna start assembling the gearbox and all that kind of stuff. And what's cool, what I was gonna show you is we've got. So I don't have it mounted right now, but what I can do now, which is pretty cool, is I can throw that camera over.
Workbench cam.
Yeah, workbench cam.
Nice.
So now we can actually, and I can adjust it, however I need to, but we can do all this kind of stuff now, and it'll be pretty epic to be able to.
Do you have
watch our builds.
like a boom setup over there, Todd, that you threw together? Or?
Yeah, well, here I could actually show it to you. Hey, why don't we do that? So I welded up a little arm
Yeah.
that goes across.
There's the boom.
Yep, and
That's
then
the boom, man.
I've got a LED light on top of it. My GoPro mounted on top for
Nice.
capturing high
Nice.
res, and
That's
so
cool.
yeah. So there's the tower of cars right there.
That's awesome, man. Everybody, this is behind the scenes footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the workbenches have the similar vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's how you know you're getting stuff done.
I know, right?
It's cold, man. Pabs, that's a fortuitous segue there, little thing. And,
Yes, it is.
From both you guys is the, you might not see this one, the coming, the GoPro. So I don't want to get onto racing because I still want to talk about what's up with you, Andre. But when I was at the track the other day, I realized that I go and I don't get a lot of footage. I don't know, people like to see cars running. So I was Amazoning some cheap GoPros. What are your thoughts, both of you guys, on what's out there that's not, a $300 GoPro?
I've got
Andre. Have you used anything like that? Sorry, go ahead, Pops.
I've used a couple action sports cameras, but the Epic is really the only one I've had a lot of runtime with, and we would throw it like in the race cars and stuff, like one-to-one stuff, to actually capture the suspension travel and try to adjust that. But that was a long time ago. The GoPros are way better now than they used to be like 10 years ago.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But there's so much FPV stuff for the flags. There's got to be good, inexpensive, tiny stuff. If you were to get like some in-car footage, that would be cool.
Yeah. So I don't know have you seen some?
Not that you would at the track, but.
Oh, I totally would.
The way I drive, I wouldn't.
Even Pablo's got some, right? I think I've seen some Sombrero Speedway footage in car.
Oh yeah. That's my GoPro. So I actually mounted a GoPro inside of a Slash, and so I am a fan of cameras that have good quality on the cheap, for two reasons. One, I don't like to spend money. Two, I like to get the shot at all costs. So but then there's a no free lunch. So I have the GoPro. The one you saw up on the rack was the GoPro Hero 7 Black. And you can get that now USD on Amazon refurbished for like $220 somewhere.
Oh, yes. I didn't even think about the refurb stuff.
Yeah. That's dude, it's totally worth it. Then the other one I would suggest is this one. It's called a Xiaomi. It's like XIOMY. It's actually it's a legit brand, but it's called the Yi 4K. So it's YI 4K. This one does stellar. It doesn't have as good a stabilization as the GoPro, but this one's under $200 too. And the nice thing about cameras like this is if you send it and you break it, I can change out the lens on this. And
that was my question: is the support parts? That's cool.
Yeah, and so the bad thing is I've cracked the back of my lens.
That's right.
But the thing is, it's like I don't care. Like this is the one that it's like I break. It's so like my drone videos. Those I haven't really pushed a lot. I used to be into doing drone stuff a lot, and those videos are pretty epic. But I was just shooting it off the Phantom 3 Pro. I didn't upgrade to a 4 or any of this fancy camera or fancy drone stuff, and it was so I could like fly into the volcano, and if it didn't come back, as long as I had it uploaded to the cloud, I was like, I don't care. So, because I took that one to Hawaii. Yeah, no, I literally was like, I took that into Hawaii and did some crazy flying out there that I shouldn't have. Oh, that's another segue. I don't know if you saw the comment on that Fleur de Lis commented. She was trying to see if you would one-up her on illegal crawling aspects. So, I don't know if you caught that story that she
illegal
posted.
I don't know if to top, trying to top her story.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, I think she might have posted it on mine.
Crawler first.
I gotta do a shout out to her. After her podcast, I got so slammed and I wasn't able to. I did the artwork and I think I handed it off, but I didn't have a chance to post it or anything like that. So I was just doing, flying by the seat of my pants. But she was a great interview. The story, the Cliff Notes for story for you, Andre, where she had a picture.
I listened to the podcast.
Oh yeah, you got that one?
Yeah, I listened to the podcast. I heard the story.
Right answer, Andre. Right answer, buddy.
Yeah. So
those are pretty local to me. I know her and her husband.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
But
I just realized I should have worn my Scale Metal Supply T-shirt. Didn't even think about it. My bad.
I can't one up her story, but I have been kicked out of a park because they told me that there was no motor vehicles, and I thought that was really weird.
Really?
Yeah, Chino Hills State Park. I was driving in this little like Rocky Creek area, and it was pretty close to where I parked. Maybe it's because I didn't pay to park this time, but there's this really cool like redwoods area. So there's a tiny little redwoods forest in this little park in Chino Hills, Carbon Canyon State Park or Chino Hills State Park, one of those. Yeah, and the ranger came up and he's like, "There's no audio on the camera in my truck, but I have to look like I'm asking you to leave, and we kind of need you to leave because you can't drive this here." And I was like, "What the heck? You could start a fire." I'm like, "It's not a." Oh, all right. Yeah, it was weird.
You're like, it's brushless.
I didn't argue. I mean, I like going to the park to fish and stuff too. So it was like,
Sure.
all right, I'll leave. I don't want to make beef with the Rangers.
I got bit by karma one time.
You know your mugshot on the wall of the ranger station.
Yeah, I got bit by karma one time on our way. So we took the trucks. That's actually how I met JJ Customs. I didn't meet him in person, but I was messaging him as we were driving down. We had a project that was in San Francisco, and it was one of those things where we're like, all right, hurry up. We got to get in the truck and go. So we piled the family in the truck, put the project in the back of the truck, and took the 3 crawlers out and drove all the way down to San Francisco. And then on the way back, I was texting, where's a shop that has an indoor course? Where do I go? Blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And I started talking to Jason, and then I ended up going up through the redwood forest and taking Highway 1, I think it is, all the way up there. And we stopped and went and crawled in the redwood forest. And I was like, I don't know that I should really be doing this. And then as we left, it's like we got attacked by a swarm of mosquitoes. And so we all had our huge mosquito, deep wood bites on us. And we're like, oh, man, it was terrible.
Ah, you crawled into the witching hour, huh?
I know. I know. It was pretty bad, but, that's what happens.
So Andre, we're coming up on November, December, the end of the year. You obviously got this conversion kit going on. Anything else going on in your scientific layer there?
Nah, nothing too scientific, but I'm going to keep doing like how-to Tuesday videos. And I don't know if you've noticed or not, Jeff, but on Tuesdays I've been trying to do some kind of short build for something, trying to help new builders or even old builders learn something weird. Like how to use the bender. I didn't even think about it being a bender video, this last one I did, which was a roll bar that I gave away. But a lot of the comments were, oh, this is a good build or bending instructional, and I didn't think about it. I was just like, make it a roll bar. But so I'm trying to make some more content. I know Pablo's going to do some more building videos, like fabrication building, hopefully, so that'll be good. I'll be sharing those too.
Awesome.
But like parts-wise, I've got, where did I put it? I wanted to do something that looked like a dimple die, so I came, I'll show you the bad one. So I made these little strips, and they have 3/16 holes in them. This one I actually used the dimple die on, but it was not enough material around the outside, so it got very deformed. So undimple die, they look pretty cool for like sliders or bumpers and stuff. So this is going to be a new thing you'll see posted in the next day or so, maybe later today.
Nice.
That'd be cool.
But just trying to come up with other things that I haven't seen.
I love that content. Like, and Pabs knows this. I message him all way too much altogether, and he's so polite. So yesterday on Insta, and I think I can share my screen. I'm not sure, Pabs. I have a share screen button. Have you tried that out yet?
I have not, but let's see what happens.
I don't know if I can do that. If I click share screen.
Click it and see what happens.
Anyways, maybe we.
Is it?
So there, I clicked it, but it won't. Okay, so let's see. You see that?
Yep. Hold on. Let me throw it on.
Okay.
I'm going to take my mug away and put yours on. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, really quickly. And then
I see nothing.
So, okay, so I was waiting to see if it comes up, but
it's right there.
I've been bugging Pablo about getting into crawling and getting a crawler for a long time. And good advice, great advice. And yesterday is my daughter's 12th birthday, so I had a house full of 12-year-old and 13-year-old girls. So to rescue my son and myself, we went out. And there's not many places we can go right now with everything going on, but we got a bite to eat. It was nice. It was nice time with him, and we had a good time. I said, "We're trying to go to the hobby store." He was like, "Okay." And my kid, no background for you, Andre. He's a hockey kid, and there's a stereotypical Canadian thing for you. And he's talked about crawling. He's never been into speed because he's like, I can't control the car, and legitimate points from an 8-year-old looking at RC. And so we went to our Great Hobbies, which is one of our locals here, and I was asking this question on Insta: do I go with the Everest 10 or do I go with the tiny truck, the SCX 24? Because those were the two that I had, and I'm going to get off that, Pablo. See if I can stop sharing. Get Pablo back.
Oh, hold on a sec.
That's okay.
There we go.
And so we ended up there last night. So before I tell you what I did, I want to hear your thoughts to make me feel either guilty or validated, and then I'll tell you what I went with. So why don't you go first, Andre? What you saw the poll results there was slightly edged out with the SCX 24, but what
I saw your post.
You'd say get an enduro. So
I would actually. Yeah, I bought 2 last week. But anyway. Well, I know that you're up north and it's probably getting colder and snowier, so maybe something to do inside. But I mean, a big monster truck looking thing does look fun. I've been messaging Pablo about monster trucks myself. You've been messaging about small stuff. I've been messaging him about the bigger stuff. But I mean, I have an SCX 24. I drive it around the house, chase the cats around. When I can't go outside. Put my son in the jolly jumper, I think you called it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
They're actually pretty handy if you get something like trapped under the bed. I've actually used my SCX 10 because it's got headlights.
Yeah.
And you can lay under there and you can
right.
kind of retrieve crap that you've dropped under your bed. But I mean, for indoor crawling, I mean that might be the best thing for you right now because you'd have to sit there and waterproof everything if you got the Everest 10 and build some snowpack jumps, which would look cool. You get some good footage.
Oh yeah, my wife would love if I had the kids outside doing that. So,
Yeah.
What do you think, buddy?
This question I was really torn about, man, because so Dalton started out on the Everest 10, and I thought it was a great truck to start out on. The only thing I didn't like about the Everest 10 was the turning radius. It has terrible turning radius. You can put 4-wheel steer on it easily, but it has terrible turning radius. But it was still super capable. The tires for that come stock are perfect for snow, like absolutely perfect for snow because they're wide and fat. It's kind of like an Overlander tire.
It's Andre. I thought you had something.
No.
I was turning off the light behind me.
And the mini one though, if you did get that one, I can show you some tips, and maybe I'll do a video on how to do an indoor thing. I have an indoor thing that I made, and it's a blast.
All right.
Excuse me. I haven't done a whole lot with it yet, but I mean, I have when everything first started. But I mean, this is the one I've been working on right now. So that's my SCX 24, and I want to get
the undercarriage. Let's see the undercarriage.
And I want to get the enduro next, but I just haven't been focusing on some other trucks.
So good advice.
So did you print that body, Pablo?
Go ahead, Andre. Yeah.
No, this is actually a model.
Did you print that body, or got one of the? Okay, that's what I was going to ask. How did that mount up? Because I know a few people that have been running into issues trying to put on the hobby grade body onto those. It's like running into location issues. Did you have to move the battery and stuff?
I just put the here. Hold on, let me see where I'm at. Actually, I was going to grab the other camera, but so all I did is I put a piece of Velcro on it, the 10-pound Velcro.
Oh,
and then
that works, man.
And then the chassis. Put a piece of Velcro on the battery tray, and I just turned my battery tray horizontal, so it goes.
Oh, wow.
So it basically goes right where the bench seat would go. So I'm not running interior on it, but it clicks right into place. I had to do a little bit of where is it? A little bit of trimming.
Yeah.
But it was good, man. Works great. And
Okay.
I mean,
So okay,
when you think about it, 10-pound foam on a
half
14
pound
ounce,
truck.
not
Not going
even.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Not
it's
even?
not going anywhere. So it's
All right.
no, it's pretty fun.
All right, so here's our version. Three men on a video cast. Our version of when kids do that baby reveal, and they blow the blue balloon or the pink balloon.
Or they start a
So
forest fire?
Yeah, I know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Too soon.
Hold on
Yeah.
one sec, guys. Sorry, Ryan, I'm on a podcast, buddy. You want to come down? Yeah, my son's calling me. Yeah, come down. So
Oh,
this is
there it is.
Ah, you
there
got
it
the
is. This
axial
is
one. Not the axial one.
yeah,
The axial
24.
edition body.
yeah. Ryan, come here.
Nice.
Nice. So I'm just gonna go see what my son needs. I'll be right back, and we'll talk more.
Cool. All right, hold on. I'll drop Jeff, and then we'll just go me and Andre. I'll zoom you out, Andre. I got you. You good? There you go.
So what mods have you done to your SCX 24? Did you grease the shock bodies and stuff yet?
I did.
Cool.
So I put marine grease on my shocks. So Jeff, if you've got
Got the bounce
audio,
out.
I'll throw you
All right,
back on
I'm
in a
back.
second.
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm back. There we go.
All right, hang on one second. Let me throw you up there.
Sorry about
All
that, boys.
No problem. So I put on my shocks, I put marine grease in the shocks, and that helped.
Mhm.
It didn't do a great job. I'm hoping to get the Trio ones. I've heard some good things about the Trio ones. I have the full send. Oh, there he is. Look at that. He's like,
Oh
"Woo."
yeah.
Show it. So here, hold it right.
What's up, buddy? Look at
Hey, what's
that.
going on?
Hi.
Welcome to Tiny Trucking.
I know. Whoa, you got another one too?
There it is. Oh,
You got two of them?
That's
Oh,
his son's.
that is rad. That is
That's
too
cool.
cool.
Okay.
See,
See you
that's.
later. All right. See you later, bud.
Very
Super
cool.
rad.
Go get the batteries charged.
Ask your dad for a sticker. I sent him some stickers.
I know, there you go.
Stickers, like Andre's stickers there on his shirt, and we'll put some on your car, okay? Okay. I'll be done soon. Say bye. You see the sleep still in his eyes there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
so
Go
with
ahead, Pablo.
oh no, so I put the full send weights on the inside of the wheels, so that helps out immensely. Oh my goodness, that's so much help.
So does
I
that
think
help?
Jeff just left though for the first tip.
Oh, so the
Yeah, I missed
first
the
step.
first one. Yeah.
So the shocks, I don't know if you've noticed when you set it down, it's bouncy.
Yeah,
like-
they're just spring shocks. Yeah.
Yeah, so what you do is you take your shocks apart and you put
Yeah.
marine grease, or I've put marine grease in mine because of
Okay.
our kind of climate out here being pretty moist.
Yeah.
Heavy marine grease will slow it down a little bit.
Cool.
And then what else did I do? So I did the conversion for the Ovonic. So your battery is probably a one cell, like 350 or something like that. I don't remember.
I thought it was 2S, but I could be wrong.
It's a 2S. Yeah, it's 2S.
Okay.
30C. I forget what the. We'll take
So
that. But anyway,
I ended up putting an 850 35C 2 cell on
Yeah.
mine. And this thing will literally run for days. Like,
I was gonna say, does that last a week?
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, my
And
son
that's-
will get a hold of it and it'll just run for days. What's the other thing I did? So the other thing I did.
On that point too, these packs right now got us about a 20-minute like run time. Like we've built courses in the house last night. The wife is loving the use of her furniture. But yeah, that extra runtime would be huge, man. So yeah, you got to hit me up with what you got there. So
I'll send you one.
What was your third tip, Tom?
So I've got one in a bag. So I'll send you that one when I send you those race packs. The other thing I did is I 3D printed some method wheels for it.
That's what I was gonna ask if you printed those because they didn't look like wheels
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen for sale.
Nope.
Cool.
So 3D printed those. Put the RC 4-wheel drive Baja claws on them. I was a little bummed about those. They're beautiful tires. The thing I was bummed about was they're a little smaller than the stock tire. I don't think I have a stock tire readily available here.
Yeah, stock tires are pretty big. What tires are those?
RC 4-wheel drive Baja claws.
Oh,
So
they got the look though. They look good.
yeah, and they look good on the truck. So there's that, and then
Nice.
here's this one. So you could see, where is it?
The width,
It's a little taller.
Yeah.
Taller and skinnier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Some more
I
clearance.
mean, yeah, and with this kind of weight on the car, you don't have to worry about the squash that these have. The stock tires have pretty good squash. The
They
RC
do,
four-wheel
yeah.
the RC four-wheel drive tires actually have foams in them that are
Oh, wow.
pretty good. So it's a nice little rig. So
Yeah.
I'll be taking some footage of that on our course. We're probably going to expand the indoor course a little bit. We'll see. So,
Nice.
They're definitely fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And we've got an
Yeah, on that-
FPV camera, so we did it with a couple things on the RC Recess last spring with the FPV camera. And so the FPV camera actually is small enough that I can mount it on the battery in the cab with this new
Oh,
bike.
perfect.
So I'm going to be cruising that thing around. The only bad thing about it is it doesn't record very good video. It's kind of the one I've got. It's like, but you know, it's like whatever. It's still pretty cool. I could probably, now that I've got some crazier chops, I could probably put a filter over it and make it look like it's all rough and sketchy and stuff like that. Anyway,
Nice.
so that would be pretty cool.
And when we were at the hobby store, they had they do a pretty good job. They had a miniature crawling track set up that they built. And I think Ryan, so that's my son, we stood there, he crouched down and looked at that longer than he had at the truck. He was like, all right, how do we make that?
He was studying it. Awesome.
Do we have that foam stuff?
Yeah.
Do you have popsicle sticks? And I'm like, yeah, we're going to figure all that out, buddy, because Mummy's couch cushions and Mummy aren't going to be happy.
As soon as you take it outside, don't put it in the house.
Yeah. So the great stuff is rad. The hard thing about the great stuff that's deceiving is when you, and that's the foam that you put down.
Yeah.
So when you put that down, it actually pillows bigger than what you put it down.
So much.
Yeah, and so you
got to be ready with like a trowel and shape it.
Yeah, exactly. And so that what I end up doing is I get the foam from the big box store. So like the blue sheet foam, I'll get a half a sheet of that and then cut it up and then layer it. So it's like if you look at a topography map.
Like a topographical map, exactly.
Yeah, so I layer it like that, and then I skim it with that foam, and then you can make it so that, and then if you get like, I haven't done this yet, and this is what I was going to do on the next one. If you get like fine gravel, like hobby gravel, and then sprinkle it on the foam, then you have more grip.
Oh, sick! Yeah.
So
you know what was funny is segue here. My daughter has geckos.
Okay.
Shout out to Gecko Trail.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say.
So she has two
Right
in
there.
like little terrarium, and we actually worked with that foam. We built her a sort of little ecosystem inside the terrarium using that foam and shaping it. So yeah, when you say
cool.
it expands quick, man, we act quickly. Otherwise, we just have no room for the lizard. But but it was the same thing, right? We had to put coconut rind and things on that. So thinking about that for how we can do something like this. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look back through your feed and check out some of that stuff you did earlier.
I don't know if I
Coconut
posted
rind.
much
There
of
you
it.
go.
That's the thing. That's why I was saying I don't know if I posted any of it because it was kind of like a quick, throw it together, and then we played with it, and then my son came out, so I was like, all right, whatever.
New content ideas, buddy.
For sure. We need to get another one. See, you've got us one up already. You've got you've got two of them. We only have one, and so I think the next one I'm going to get is a element one, just to have one of each. So
Nice.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, those 24th scale hobby hard bodies won't work as easily on the Element.
Oh, really?
I haven't done it yet. My
Yeah,
buddy's got an Explorer body he wants me to help him install onto his, and I was like, all right, that's different. I like it.
Yeah. I had, so when I first got this one, I have a model from the 60s. I like old models, like old 60s and 70s models. I have one that's it's a hearse, but it's a surfing hearse, so they've got like surfboards on the top, and I put it up on this, and I was like,
Nice.
yeah, like I could actually stretch out. And this is me being super nerdy. Like I could 3D print my a new drive shaft, or I could 3D print longer links and stretch it out to fit that hearse. And I was like, I could have a little long, hearse cruising around. The hard thing with these is that the suspension's so bouncy that once you start modifying, you lose a lot of performance. So,
Yes.
all the weight on them. That was one of the things I was contemplating saving all the model sprues, and so I could trim them down, because I was thinking, what would be cool is if I made a cage out of the model sprues and then put that over it. I mean, I can 3D print a cage too, but it's like, it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think there's like a shark something shark.
Yeah. Yep. I think Matt from Scale Builders did one of those.
Yeah, cool. He's done one. I mean, you see a few of them, but yeah,
that's cool.
Hey, Pat,
yeah, speaking of old models, I was up in my attic the other day looking for a T4 that I know I have somewhere, and I found a Munsters model. I don't know how old that thing was.
Was it
yes,
Dracula?
the early days building static models. I think so. I don't know. It was the family car,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I was telling Jeff about Dracula the other day.
I saw that post.
Yeah. So that was Dracula was Grandpa Munster's drag car. So that was such a cool ride. So, what were you gonna say, Jeff?
Man, there goes my memory. Oh, truck monster. Your monster truck. So the competition that you're having. So that's just remind everybody watching. Is that Monday? Is that when that's rolling?
It's all week. It's all week.
Baby.
Yeah.
Right.
So we just set the bracket up. I have my work cut out for me. So my bracket. I just mean even just competition wise. So the guy I'm going up against is called Big America. He's got some crazy skills, and it's like I was kind of crossing my fingers I'd be going up against someone that didn't have kind of a fabricated trail. He's got some awesome kickers that he's built, so I'm like, great. So basically the way we're going to be doing this is that we've got 12 trucks. 4 trucks got to buy into the next round, and then the rest of the 8 trucks are going to be going head to head. So we're going to be going on Monday. It's going to be me versus Big America, Outlaws versus Trailer Trash RC, Jeremy Bunting versus CCXRC, so versus Tony, Cooperstown versus Overkill. So these are like some pretty big monster truck accounts that are going to battle.
But it's all voting by the audience, right?
Yep.
So anything's game, man. Like I always say, anything can happen, right? In this, so it's just it just depends on who's looking at it and what's tickling their fancy, right?
Exactly.
It's exciting, man. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, so it should be cool. I've been talking to a couple, sponsors to see if we can get some. There's a big one on the fence right now or not on the fence, but that I've been talking to. And I have some plans for doing a couple more. So, like one of them, I started thinking of like names, and how they have the TTCs, like the tough truck competitions.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Thanksgiving Taco Crush, so we could have.
There you go.
And then I wanted to have a sleigh smash, right before Christmas. So yeah, I think it could be some fun stuff. So, and now, like I said, I have the ability to go live on the trail, which would be pretty rad. That would be.
Are you gonna make any changes to your backyard setup there, specific for the monster trucks?
I think maybe for the next one, if it works out, I've been working on a big public art project at the shop, and my table, I've just been full. Like I just have had no time to do anything. I wanted to do some stuff for it, but my video has to be. Even though I'm running it, I still want my video to be done at the same time everyone else is done. So the cutoff time is tomorrow at 3:00 Pacific time. So, and there's a Seahawks game at 1, I think. So.
Oh man, priorities, buddy. Priorities.
Just put a TV out in the taco trail somewhere.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think I'm just going to kind of go for it. There was one thing, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but I have like a truss bridge on one side, kind of like at the end of my trail. I was thinking about
Cool.
putting a ramp against the truss bridge and jumping over the trail and landing in the raceway. But I mean, that's a 10-foot gap, and then I'd have to land it perfectly onto the berm and take the corner, and I'd have to chase my truck down. So I'm like, that's a big ask. So,
That's like launching a rocket into space. That's like NASA logistics, buddy.
you know, my truck, for some reason, it's a lot of it's stock except for the motor. But man, that thing just handles, and it will fly. I had a video when I was at a racetrack, jumping it, trying to get it. I could have done it but I broke. But I think I could have made the triple for the 8-scale buggies. Like the thing was just launching. So it was yeah.
So what are you using for a power plant in your? Is it an SMT10?
Yeah,
What is it?
Yeah, SMT10. So here's the funny thing. So the Wendigo, there's been a lot of chat about that because the Wendigo has axles that are like the AR60s. Sorry, Jeff. I know this is like you're like AR60s.
Big wide axles.
I'm learning.
Yeah. So AR60s are like big wide axles. So like if you were to equate them to like 1-to-1s, yeah. So like if you were going to equate it to 1-to-1, it'd be like a military axle versus like a standard heavy duty car axle. So the cool thing about that is that the Wendigo has so that's like the standard size axle.
Element axle?
Yeah.
AR60.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Just
a bit
much
bigger.
wider.
Where we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, and there's no knuckles or anything on this one. This is just no stubs.
Right.
Very huge in comparison.
And so the Wendigo has a very similar axle. And the thing that people don't know a lot of is that one of the guys that is on, I don't know if he's still there or if he was just there a year ago, was from Axial that was designing for Red Cat. So that's why you started seeing a lot more typical stuff, I guess, or mainstream kind of style stuff. So the axles for the Wendigo, I think I might be doing something with them, maybe with Cody to make some kind of monster truck out of them. I've put monster truck tires on it, and it seems to handle pretty good. A little bit different, like a step between the Clodbuster and the SMT10.
But it's already got the axle tubes in it too, right? So they're a little stronger than the AR60s. Yeah. Well, the stock AR60s.
Right. And the Wendigo, I've been kind of on the fence a little bit with Red Cat lately, but I've got to give shouts out to that Wendigo. That thing is bulletproof. And the reason why I got on the Wendigo is because I'm using the stock drive or the stock motor and ESC out of the Wendigo.
Is it the Axe?
No. So the Wendigo comes with it's a rebranded Hobby Wing. So it's actually a Hobby Wing ESC and a Hobby Wing motor, but it's got the Red Cat logo on it. It's a 3300 kV brushless. And
that's a lot of motor.
Yeah, and it's not censored. And it's like a 550 can, so that thing will rip. And with
that's perfect for a monster truck. You don't need low speed.
I know, and well, and I'm actually running 3S on it, and that thing is it's super quick. It's a little laggy at the bottom end, but once it gets, it's quick. But for the Wendigo, it was way too much power. Like, I don't think it was way too much power. It was untunable power. So, like in my Wendigo now, I have the 550 3300 Axe in that one. Mm-hmm. And that's perfect because it has so much control because it's censored. So that one I can just rip and, that's the one I take on long trail hikes because I can play around with it a lot and it doesn't, it'll just go wherever I want it to kind of a thing. But yeah, no, it's definitely a blast. But that's what I'm powering that. I've actually thought about just going back down to a 12-turn motor and having a little bit more. The thing I've noticed a little bit, and I don't know if the same is true for cars like yours, Jeff, but brushless, unless you're super hyper-focused and feeling the throttle, it seems like there's not a lot of throttle control for snappiness. Like for instance, with a brushed motor and a good ESC, I feel like you can really not necessarily modulate, but if I'm going full pull forward and then I rip it into reverse, it'll be like you could actually feel the pull of reverse versus with a brushless, if you rip it in the reverse, it's like you're just full on, like bam, like there's no ramping. With the brushless motors, I know you can program them, but it's like that's a lot of programming to figure out all that kind of stuff.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like the castle and home stuff is super easy to turn.
Right.
Yeah, with any of my racing, like my Losi 22.5 or the 22T, so you don't have reverse anyways. But I notice a big difference.
Is that a Canada thing? That's good.
No, that's a racing. That's a racing thing.
It's a racing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, in Canada, the water flushes the wrong way in the toilet too. It's like. But yeah, no. But I noticed it because when you're racing, it's like you're very rarely full bore, so you're really just modulating it around turns and whatnot. And I'll be honest, unless I've had a brushed car recently, I forget what the difference is like. You're hearing a little whine. There's a SCX24 driving behind me here. So
it's perfect.
Yeah, perfect background noise. So,
we don't got it. I can't hear it. So
yeah,
we're good.
So yeah, no, I don't know. Like it's I haven't run brushed in so long that it would be hard. Like I can't even really recall the difference. But I'm sure I would quickly on a racetrack. But otherwise, yeah. And programming is. I don't know a lot of guys that really spend a lot of time doing that unless they're racing every single week. Like it's such a niche piece on that it's like almost unnecessary. So
I think I understand what Pablo's saying now, and I think part of it is the whole design of the motors. So the armature is very small in the brushless motor, and it's really big in the brushed motor. So just the wind-up time, there's a little bit of a different feel to it. So I think I would agree with what you said.
Yeah, and for
that's
crawling, and for crawling wise, it's interesting because I'm torn on this Nomad or not Nomad on the Nova wagon that I'm building. I was originally thinking about poaching that axe system and throwing it into the Nova wagon, but that's like so much power for that 3D printed body. I'm like, I don't know that I really want to like do that. So I'm thinking about. The motors that I am loving right now are the 8 turns Holmes Hobbies, the Crawlmaster Pro or Sport. Hold on, I've got. So this is the 540. Yep. Oh yeah. So
yes, there we go.
So this one I have right here is a 13 turn.
That's what I had, yeah.
And this is the 540. It's an awesome motor. It doesn't have the top end that I like, but the 8 turn, holy smokes! On 3S, that motor is awesome. It's got.
So is it like a 19 turn?
Well, it's an 8 turn.
Equivalent?
It's like I think it's like a 16. I think, or maybe it's like a 9 turn. I'm not sure.
I know the 13 is like a 27, so I would just assume that the 8 would be like a 19.
Dude, it is so rad. And I've been running that in the Gen 8 driveline. And that bought, and on a 1080 ESC, the Hobby Wing 1080, thing is just awesome. So I'm thinking about putting that in the Element chassis, running 3S on that. So, but yeah, no, it'll be cool.
That 8 turn, that sounds good. I've been wanting to do a rally truck build for a long time. You could take the SMT diff, and then you can put those into the old school SCX10, the OG axles, and then you can have open diffs, and it would actually handle. But I've always been wanting to do like a Dakar truck or something. Right. I had a body, but I got rid of it.
I think that's my next 24 scale.
That 8 turn sounds perfect, though.
Oh, it is. It's awesome. My next 24 scale build. She's just slightly off camera, Jeff. I'm gonna try to move him on camera a little bit more.
It's because I've got a second head growing out of my shoulders. So,
I know. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I can get you all in there.
Now you're live to the world.
Oh, someone muted yourself. Jeff,
have you achieved your goal,
there
Ryan?
you go.
Have you achieved your goal? Yes or no?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Boys, this might be a good segue for me to hop off. And you guys keep going. This has been awesome. Andre, it's good to see you, man. I wish I was in Cali, to be quite honest.
We finally got some cooler weather. It's not cold, but it's at least cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool
So
if I can wear the tube.
Yeah, the toque. Yeah. So are you guys still under tornado warning out there or what?
No, that passed, Ryan? We didn't. We got some thunder and lightning, which is weird for the end of October up here. But now it's like I said, it's a full 7 degrees of the high today, and I think we're just fall is over.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's 7 degrees? That's 40?
Oh, yeah, probably around there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
it's pretty close to freezing.
so right now we are 39 degrees up here in the PNW, and tomorrow we're going to be sub freezing at 30 for overnight. So our high is going to be 48. So
we can continue to commiserate.
yeah, I know.
So. All right, boys. Andre, thanks for joining, man. And you guys keep going.
Thanks.
And,
yeah.
Good to see you again. We'll do it again for sure, buddy.
All right, man. Take care,
Excellent.
Jeff. Thanks for popping on.
Have a good one, Jeff.
I'll shoot you the audio in a little bit.
No sweat, man.
See you, Ryan.
Bye. All right. See you guys.
See ya. All right, let me flip it over back to 2 cameras. Hang on 1 second, Andre. Bam. Whoa, now you're way up in the camera. Hold on a second. I got you. Let's see if I can move you around here. Hang on.
Zoom in.
Let's see. Maybe I'll zoom you out a little bit. There. Oh, your camera's vertical, right? You're not horizontal.
Mine's on my phone because my laptop is terrible.
Okay. So that's why I'm like, why is this not framing out right? So.
Well, I turned it sideways, and then it orients funny on my display on the internet. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Phone sucks, but anyway.
Cool.
So hopefully you get your package today, buddy.
Oh, I know. I'm stoked, man. I'm jonesing to start building these trucks, right? So like I've accumulated a bunch of parts for them. Check these out. These are, oh man, I haven't posted about these yet. I've had them for a couple weeks, and I wanted to wait till I got some tires to wrap around them. But check this out.
Are they 155s? Because I sent you some 155s.
No, that's going to be for a different build. Look at that.
I need to get my hands on some Visions.
Yes,
I was looking at the website actually yesterday.
Yep. You see their new deep dish?
Yeah.
The new deep dish.
I saw those. Those are cool. So that's what you're asking about the rings for.
Yep. So these rings, so I only got 18s. So me being a design guy, I don't like all the, like we talked about, all the studs going through. And so the 24s or 28s, whatever they are. Yeah, there
Nothing. You go. None of my cars have feed locks. They're all center locked.
Yeah. So I went with the 18 because I don't want it to detract from the look of the wheel, right? So I'm going to be ordering some, and so I looked at IERC. I didn't see any 18 holes. They all had the standard 24 or whatever it is, or 24.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and so I'm going to get just standard rings, and then I'm going to get the gold. So it'll be black rings with gold screws on it. Should look.
Do you do the scale hardware, or are you going to do?
I don't think so. I think I'm just going to do socket head. I was thinking about doing the scale hardware, but I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where it's like another thing, right? I got to buy another wrench. I got to do all that kind of stuff. I'm like,
I was just about to say that you don't have to buy a wrench. You can take a link lying. I'm sure you have a link lying around. I have a whole bag of links.
Yeah.
And you take a 2 mil Allen head and you just screw it into the end, and then you attach it to a handle.
Wait a minute. So
I'm sure you have a loose handle. I did.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the scale hardware, what do you mean? I don't, because it's recessed.
So this is a link from something. I don't know. It's a tie link. It was probably an incision link. And then I took a button head screw that was a 2 mil, and I ground the end down so it would fit into the recess. And now you have a socket, essentially.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. I know you're opposed to spending a bunch of money, so I just took a wrench handle that I had lying around, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. You might have to do that for your Tip Tuesday. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that did this, but maybe.
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
But the scale hardware doesn't collect the dirt in it too. So like the button heads, the hex heads, you get dirt and crud in there. So if you ever have to change the tire, you got to sit there and pick all the dirt out.
Yep. Well, now this is my first time. Got some of this stuff, so now I can soak it in that and try to. It's the
it's the Sicko, right? The tire cleaner?
All-purpose cleaner. Yeah. So this is the all-purpose. I got this and the tire prep. So we're gonna be playing with that. I think I decided on tires for the Nova build, and I'm gonna go with the Bogger XLs from Proline. So it's gonna be a pretty gnarly overland stuff. I love those tires.
Yeah, cool.
We've got those on Olivia's Jeep, and it's kind of a cheater truck, but it's I don't care.
Well, when you put the cage on it, it'll change its cheatability.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the cage and the 3D printed body, the thing's going to be a tank. So hopefully I can score at some point. I want to get a 299 LP servo winch and from Reeves and see if I can run that for a nice heavy winch for this truck, because I have a feeling this truck's probably going to weigh in the neighborhood of 12 pounds, somewhere around there. It's going to be a fat beast.
If you're running a servo winch, you can definitely use a winch plate to mount it. Whoa, where's the camera? There we go.
You got it.
So, very nice, solid.
Yep.
Mount it anywhere you want.
I know.
I think I sent you some of those. Do you have some of those?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I've got if they're not here, they're at the shop. We talked about it. So one of the things that I wanted to do for one of your Tip Tuesdays was with the gusset.
Yes.
The wagon is going to be called the Frankenwagon. I want to weld a bar to this and have this be my winch anchor.
Ah, there you go. So kind of like the one that I made a little while ago.
Right. But I was
thinking about giving this away, but I don't know if anybody would want this. So
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think this as a winch anchor would be pretty rad. Dude.
Yeah, it would be cool. I don't know how. I mean, it should be strong enough. It's 16 gauge.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think
you're not going to hang the truck from it, but maybe. I don't know.
well, here's the thing. I'm kind of this jury's out on winches. I had one on my WRV truck, and I never used it. I just, Yeah,
they look cool though. I mean, I got the RC 4-wheel drive winches on several builds over the years. So.
Right. Yeah, they look cool. I mean, they're definitely fun to have, but and it's funny because my son's like, use the winch. Like if we get stuck, and I'm like, all right, whatever. So
I do use like toe straps. A lot of the orders that I've been shipping out too, I've been including a scale strap also lately.
Yeah.
So I do use that a lot. I rarely use the winch, but I know the comp guys, they can winch in their competitions and stuff.
Right.
So.
Right.
Obviously, they get used. I just don't comp.
Right. Well, that's the thing for me. Like, I think I want to do. So we don't have a lot. It's probably one every 3 months is a scale comp for us, and then we have one scale trail run through the war season.
So how close are you to Ethan? Because I know there's 2 comps this weekend. There's one today and there's one tomorrow in your kind of area. I don't know how close you are to those. But I know you have the monster truck thing going. So
yeah. So Ethan he's about an hour and a half away from me south.
So that's 2 hours of your day just in travel time.
Yeah.
Got it.
Easy. And so that's where the track is down there. And then there's a track up here. So like the U4RC, there's a track up here that's probably 30 minutes away. And so I could do that, but that's even further away. So the one up here is in Marysville. So I'm in Monroe. Marysville's probably 30 minutes away from us without traffic, 20 minutes away. So it's not too bad. But the hard thing for me with comps like that is keeping the kids engaged during that time. So
yes.
It's.
I don't know what the platform's like now, but I mean, when I had comps like 10 years ago, it was like one at a time. Go one. I know it's changed a little bit. Well, they have multiple courses going, and you can kind of bounce around, trying to make it a little quicker.
Right.
Well, I don't know what the platform is up
The
there.
way they have it now for the scale trail runs, so you're still getting scored, but it's not as hardcore. So you still have circle rules where they're like putting you
They
in a
tech the
class.
truck, right?
Yeah, they tech the truck,
Yeah.
but then like your points are a little different. It's been since this winter of last, or January of last year since we did it, but I don't remember the scorecard for that particular scale run. But the scale run's a little bit less technical. So you're still going through gates and stuff like that, but you're not getting counted for. You're getting counted against time and gates, and I think backups are free, I think, and winching is free. So it's just more of a fun thing. And so what they do is there's like 60 gates, and they'll let you run, and then they get 2 gates out, and then they'll let the next guy run, 2 gates out, let the next guy run. So what's cool, yeah. And so the hard thing is that we've got 3 trucks going, and the kids aren't really into scoring yet. So
yeah.
Once they're into
you guys
scoring,
are more set up for poker runs.
yeah, exactly. And so I think this year we're gonna probably start transitioning more into gate scoring with the kids, and they'll get that more. I mean, they're drivers; they can drive now. They understand it.
Yeah,
and so
they're quick learners,
dude.
I've been getting my nephew into it, and he moved to Arizona with his family, and I built him a crawler to take out there because it's Arizona.
Cool.
There's crawl everywhere. And he came back recently, and I was letting him drive the Capra in the back, and I was like, he understands it. He gets
it. I know.
He was really smooth with it, and he wasn't all squirrely, and he's like 10, so I was like, I would have just sent it into the pool if I was 10.
I know, right? Yeah, and it's really cool seeing him take a different line and kind of bounce the line and then get it going up.
It's like, all right, good. He understands. That's good. I'm glad I was able to get him into the hobby.
Yeah, it's really, really making me want to actually get like a 1-to-1 just beater truck and go out and just have fun with him. Because I remember when my stepdad, when I was younger, we had an old. It was nice, but it was like a F-150. It was a Ranger custom, but like a 78 or something like that. And we would go out there, and he'd let me drive it. He'd be in the passenger seat, and we'd go wheeling, and I'd be 12 or whatever, 10 or 12, just tall enough to reach the pedals, but scared enough not to like mash the gas down all the way. So, but. No, that was a fun truck.
Oh, I could relate to that. Going out to the desert and driving on the dry lake bed in a 1990 Toyota pickup, and that's one of the cars I own now is an '89, same body style, just a different grill.
That's funny.
I wanted that thing for a long time, but
it was funny this morning. So you've seen my normal daily driver, my old pickup, and we got
cool. One day I'll get a shop truck. One day.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun. I love it.
Gotta have a shop.
Yeah. No. Well, the funny thing is when I started the business, I had the shop truck. We have a 2-car garage, and it's small. And on one side, I had my truck torn apart because I was doing the paint on the interior, cutting it in. And then on the other side, I started building signs. And so I had to like quickly put my truck together and push it out. And then that way I could start having a whole shop. So, but it was funny this morning because I went out to go get coffee, and I was like, we got a new to us truck. It was in the family, but it's like it's crazy. It's my grandfather-in-law's truck. It's a 98 GMC fully loaded truck, right? And he's now, in a retirement home, doesn't drive that kind of thing. That's how we came across it. It's a 98 and it had 58,000 miles on it. And it's like,
there you go. That's the best kind.
Oh, dude. So we bought it, and it's like, the nice thing is, so like my truck is a tin can, right? Like I love my truck dearly, but it's like you get in the morning, and if it's 38 degrees in the morning, it's 36 degrees in the truck. So I'm like, I got into this truck, and I'm like, oh, hey, there's a seat warmer button. So I press the button, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in a warm truck. My butt is warm. I'm getting coffee. Like, what is this life?
It's weird. It is weird, yeah.
So
I just got rid of my tin can about 6 months ago. I had an 88 Mazda 323 that me and my wife actually did rallycross in.
Oh,
and that thing exactly was a tin can. You shut the door and it was like clink.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Yep.
We sold her Jeep actually recently too. She had a a 2017 Renegade, and that had the seat warmers. It had the steering wheel warmer. The few times I drove it, I was like, "This is kind of nice."
Yeah, no, yeah.
But had to go.
Yeah, I want to get a Jeep one of these days. We'll see. I'm into building my own stuff, so I've thought we just got a cargo trailer this summer for work, and it's a smaller one. It's like 14. It's a V-nose, 14 by 6.5 or whatever wide. And I was like, I could probably get some Chevy axles and make a little tuber, and I have a 305 laying around, so I could probably throw that in there. But
There you go. Get like a rock lizard or something.
yeah.
Frame.
Oh, dude, that would be so much fun, and the kids would love it. The kids would have a blast doing it. So the only bad thing is out here, you kind of need to be closed in.
It's gonna be cold and wet. Yeah, you got to be sealed up.
Yeah, and
build a fuselage for yours.
Yeah, and I've done. I don't. Did you see those videos of the casket that I built that I posted?
I saw the videos of that hearse thing all tilted up.
Yeah. So there's a casket that I built that was all radio controlled that was in there too, and that. So I used to build all kinds of weird stuff like that for a company, and so I was like, if I could probably build it and have like Zeus clips on the panels, so I could take the panels off, and in the summertime put panels on in the wintertime.
Yeah, just so you can kind of close it up for the wetness.
Yeah, because there'd be plenty of heat coming off the motor to kind of keep the interior warm. So.
That's some Volkswagen logic right there. We'll just blow the air over the exhaust into the car.
Yep. I just got rid of my Volkswagen this. I posted it up before the whole COVID thing, and I actually sold it during the first quarantine, the first set of quarantine. But I had it.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. When you were talking about your SEX24, you said you got it when this all started. So did you get a couch crawler when they said stay home? Is that when you got the 24?
I got it. Well, okay, so that's kind of a buy-away. So I already had the trail set up at my house, right? So we were able to go and play with that. You and I are like business people, so I saw the need for something, and that's when I designed that metal bridge. I don't know if you saw a lot of that the little metal bridge that was modular.
Oh yes, it's cool.
Yeah, so I got that, and I didn't license it, but I kind of just sold it to JJ Customs, and so I got one of those little ones for prototyping for the size of bridges and stuff like that. But that's why we only had one of them. But yeah, I got it, and we were playing on the inside, but we were still. I made that course for it that I haven't really put a lot of video or pictures up of it yet, and I think I might have a couple pictures up here. Here, hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull that up, because it's a pretty cool little course.
Yes, you've got it. I haven't seen your 24 course, but I know your big course in the back is super cool. Yeah. I need to get one of those Sasquatches for mine. I like your little Sasquatch in the corner.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's funny. The face is melting off right now because it's just thin plywood that we painted up. And oh yeah, here we go. Hang on, let's see. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Hang on. Let's see. Where is it? There. So this was
is that on like a 2x2, 2-foot by 2-foot little section there?
Well, this is actually 8 feet. This is just a little section of it. So.
Oh, I see the bike in the background now. Yes.
Yeah. So so it's got a tunnel through this, kind of through this volcano that I built, and I don't know how many pictures I have. This is from May 4th, so this is a long time. So here's another section of it, and so you can kind of see.
Oh, there you go. It kind of like bedrock.
Yeah, and so on the back side of that, you can see there's a rope bridge. That was for something.
Nice.
Like that. Yeah, so we've got, and it's all painted up now, so it's all painted and done up. So that's, it's a pretty cool little thing, and I plan on building it up a little bit more over time. So that's just a matter of time. Oh,
that's cool. That's cool that you guys can all do that too. That's cool.
It's fun, man. Here's my neighbor. He's making his into a van.
Is it a lunchbox? Yeah, it looks like a little lunchbox.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it's just a model van body that he 3D
Yeah.
print. So he's a retired guy, and I showed him how to run some 3D programs, and he's been making 3D. So behind that picture, you can kind of see a beige, um, like body. He's got
Hmm.
a huge, I think it's a 10 scale or an 8 scale tank, and he's been 3D printing, but it's
Ah.
like from like the 80s. And so he's 3D printing a bunch of suspension parts. He's a retired Army veteran tank commander, or I don't know if he was a tank commander, tank captain, but so he's got that. So he's building it all scale. So it's pretty cool. So he's using my 3D printer to print a bunch of parts for it, and it's a pretty cool project. But yeah, man,
Very
I
cool.
really like our trail back there. I think I have a gut feeling that things are going to kind of roll back when it comes to quarantine here in the next couple months. I don't want them to, but it's kind of beneficial to
Oh,
have.
like tighten up.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I
Um,
mean, you see, I'm talking about, the holidays are coming. It's gonna have another wave,
yeah, I know. It
which
drives
makes
me.
sense because everybody's gonna see their family. Well, or try to. But anyway,
Right, right.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and so it's like it's nice to have the course here to be able to kind of crawl on and do our own thing. And I think this year there won't. The problem is that I don't think there'll be as much stigma if it does get rolled back a little bit to going out to parks, like it was
Hmm.
the first time. Because I remember the first time people were like, the parks were like ghost towns. When
Maybe I missed the ghost town part, but my normal crawling spot is normally a ghost town, and every time I've been there since this started, it's the heck. Groups of like 15, 20 people hiking up
really,
single track, and I'm just like, all right, let
wow,
me pull over with my scale truck and let them
yeah,
pass.
that's crazy.
Usually I try to
Yeah.
go on the more the paths less traveled.
Yeah, out here it was like all the parks were just dead. I mean, they
They
literally
were
had
open,
them.
right? You were allowed to go,
No, they had
right?
them taped off. They had all the
Oh,
yeah, they had all the stuff taped off, and then they now you can go. Now everything's open again like that. So it's weird.
that's
It's
weird. I don't know why they
bizarre.
would close the parks. That's weird. I understand like roping off the picnic areas and stuff, but
Yeah,
that's weird. Why would you close the
yeah.
park?
They had like our main park here. I live in like a development, so what's really cool is that my shop is 3 minutes away, my kid's school is 3 minutes away, and then like my coffee shop is 3 minutes away, and the park is literally at the end of my street, and there's like a little man-made lake down there. So that park is like the community park, and they actually had the entry of the parking lot roped off, and they wouldn't let anybody in
Oh, okay. Now it makes
there.
sense. Okay. I was
And
thinking
then
like, I don't know, big park.
Oh well, you were also they technically the state parks were all closed and stuff like that too, but but that opened up pretty early, probably like June. All that stuff opened back up, maybe July. Um, but it's like I. The problem is now we have the weather to deal with. Like I really want to go
Yeah.
trailing again, but it's like super wet and nasty. So we'll see.
Well, build season is here.
I know, I know. Well, that's the thing. Well, that's what's nice about having the trail here at my house is that I can just go out and get my quick fix in and, do
Yeah,
my
as soon as
testing
the
and
weather
stuff like
turns,
that.
run inside.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Or at least it's like I'm close to being inside so I can get wet if I need to and take some video and then pop back in. But it's nice, if I need to take another video. I need to catch up on my video, man. I have hours of video that I need to go through and
I
post.
got
And
to edit it,
oh,
sift
dude,
through it all.
yeah, so much. And then now I'm going to be doing the build stuff. So today we're probably going to have a build video of the element. And then once that's kind of established, I'll do a good build video with a Capra cage on it. I'll kind of take it apart and do it and
Hmm.
kind of see how it's done. And then I'll have the build video of
So, do you have
the.
any?
Good. What is
No, do
it?
you have a scale garage or anything that's set up?
Nope. No. Not in
No, no scale
dollhouses.
garage.
I'm just kidding.
It turns into a workspace pretty quick.
Yeah. No, I
It's
thought about
definitely
it.
not a static workspace.
Yeah.
This is
I
some
know.
of mine.
I think they're really cool. Um, and I have the ability to do it because I can digitally print. I mean, I can digitally print stuff and
Yeah.
design it and all that kind of thing. But to me, it's the space. I don't have a lot of space. Like my space right here is pretty big, and it's in the house. So it's like, so like in front of me here. So normally I do the lives at the shop, but in front of me here we've got like it's like a walkthrough, and then we got the big sectional couch and the TV over there. So it's like,
Oh, you were like in the dead.
oh yeah, yeah. So like everyone could be watching TV, and we could be working, and my daughter and I could be playing, and everyone could be watching TV out there. We can have a game on or whatever. So I'm like in the house.
Yeah.
I could do it in the garage. The problem is that we wouldn't be in the garage very much to have a scale garage. And I could push this desk forward and maybe do one behind me, but I don't know. I don't. It's already taken up so much house space. I mean, I have my whole backyard. We don't have a backyard. It's all racetrack and
all crawl.
Yeah. And then in here I have the racks of cars and stuff. So.
I set mine up just mostly to do pictures, and then it just turned into a workspace. So it just kind of looks like a garage. You got tires in the corner and got a little dumpster, a little trash can.
I know, those are cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I thought about that the reason why I printed this one behind me is because I can clip it to the front of the table, and then I can.
Yeah, I mean that's really good for the podcast. It looks good. I mean,
yeah, there you go.
Just jump.
No, I think that looks cool too. Well, and like I said, normally, I'm running my laptop camera, but normally I run a different camera that is a little nicer, and that's what I run at the shop. But actually, it's just my iPhone camera. I can port it through, so it'll have a much clearer picture.
Yeah, it looked really good quality. The build with OMG, it looked really good.
Oh, thanks. That was just my camera, my phone camera, doing that one. So. We'll probably do that. We'll probably go on YouTube later today and do that with her. But yeah, man, it's been a wild ride, kind of like doing all this media stuff and kind of playing around. But we'll see. I think this Christmas time is going to be fun for us. I think we'll be able to have a lot of crazy. Kale on cars. I don't know when he commented, but I'll throw that up there. I think it's going to be a wild ride the next couple months for us. Just we have a lot of stuff to build, and then Christmas, I don't know. I think Olivia might want a monster truck for Christmas, and I'm like, man, that's going to take up some space. 3 monster trucks at least, and all that kind of
Your
stuff.
Your content is definitely not making it easy to not buy a monster truck.
I know,
especially as of lately.
Dude, they're really so much fun.
I know. Well, the problem is I'm going to get one, and then I'm going to start making parts for monster trucks. That's what's going to happen.
See that? So I've been contemplating 2 more monster truck things. One being a tube frame, like building, with all the parts and all that.
It's definitely going to happen. If I end up with a monster truck, I'm definitely going to have it.
I know. Yeah. So I thought about doing that, or doing. I bought these for a buddy. They were frame rails that were for a semi truck, for a scale semi truck. They're just like C-channel basically. I thought about doing that, and then with the parts from Scale Metal Supply, making parts that bolt onto it, and making it like an old school like 80s style monster truck, kind of like the Clodbuster but more scale. But yeah, man, I mean that's the one thing that's tough for me, is that my build area is not at my house. So it's at the shop.
Yeah, you got to leave to go. I sometimes feel I get yelled at. Like, where are you going? It's like, I got an idea. Hold on. I got to get it out of my head.
Right. And so I have my first build table still here at the shop, but I don't have a welder here at the shop, at the house. And I have 220 here at the house because this is where I started my shop. So you're
going to have to braze it.
No. So I did, when I was in college, I took metalsmithing, jewelry metalsmithing, which was all brazing, soldering, all that kind of stuff. And I did some, jewelry, like fancy, like 3D kind of sculpture stuff, but it's like, that small. And it was fun. I don't have the patience for it. I need to like just zip it together and be like, all right, here we go, and then move on to the next piece. Like I got to get my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to like sit there and wait for it to heat up and
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand. But the finish is good, and you don't have to have 220 or But anyway, I
right.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It does take a bit longer, and then you have to clean up all the flux and stuff too.
Right. I was thinking, so I have 2 wire feeds at the shop, and I had an intern for a while, so having 2 wire feeds was nice because I had one
Mhm.
set up for steel and one set up for aluminum, and I don't think I really need to do that. Like I think I could rough
Oh,
it
you have a
out.
full gun setup on it?
Yeah. So I mean, I think I could like rough it out and just change it over when I need to, versus having one ready to go. Um,
Yeah.
because then I could bring one to the house, and because I have a metal table at the house that I built, so I could do my welding out there. The problem is that it's loud. Like the grinder. Like I don't know if you have the guilt at 9 o'clock at night
Um,
running your grinder trying to clean something up or cut something.
uh, well, where I'm at, this garage was sealed up to record music, so it's pretty good with noise.
Mm,
I can run my saw and my drill and belt sander. And,
nice,
yeah, I'm all right.
nice. Yeah. See, for
I
me
don't do much at night. I'll do it more in the morning.
when I started the business here, I would do so. I would wake up and design from like 6 o'clock to 9 or 10, and then I'd jump into the shop, get all my cutting done. This is like pre-kid stuff. Um, get into the shop around 10, do all my cutting, my fitting, sanding, whatever I needed to do, and then after like 6 o'clock, then I'd start burning everything in. So I'd work from like 6 to about 10, sometimes maybe a little bit later, and I'd do all my all my welding, all that kind of stuff. Um, so everything was quiet at night, but every now and then I had a mess up, and I'd be like, I've got to cut this. And I have in my neighborhood, I have kids on either side of me and 2 across the
Mhm.
street, and they all go to bed at like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, killing me. So uh, I remember one time I had a deadline.
Saw.
Oh, dude! One time I had a deadline, and I had to drill at 3 o'clock in the morning with a step bit, an 1.5 inch hole in aluminum, and it was just like, whoa, like just screaming as I'm doing it. I'm like, gotta get it done. Sorry, guys. Like,
Guys. Oh man,
but
turn off the white noise.
oh, it was funny because you used to be able to see the flashing, the flickering out on the street because I keep my garage door open a little bit when I was welding. So it'd be
Yeah.
like this mad scientist going. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, we got some lights that flicker when I'm welding. We have like lights around the house, and it's on the same circuit as the welder, so I know they're like.
Yeah, dimming out a little bit. Yep. No, been there, done that for sure. So what do you got building right now? And then we'll probably hop off and let us.
Right now, I'm
You got the
building
Capra?
a bunch of stuff for IERC. I'm building
cool.
him, I think, like 10 sets of sliders.
Nice.
Right now, immediately, and then I have to go work on a full-size trailer when we get off the
yeah.
call here. I do wait to work outside until everybody's awake, but in the garage, yeah, I'll work whenever.
Right on.
Yeah, I've got a little overland trailer project I'm building for a friend of mine,
That'll be cool.
so I gotta fire up the chop saw.
That'll
But
be cool.
yeah,
Right
got
on.
some things going on. Hopefully, I can get out and crawl a little bit tomorrow. I haven't crawled in about a week, or got on the trail, anything. But
Sure.
hopefully, I can get some time in tomorrow.
Yeah. After this, I'm gonna go out and try to film some for the monster truck thing. So I'm gonna go
I'm
out.
going to try to resist purchasing a monster truck. That's another
Good
thing.
luck. Good luck. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I might get one more, and then that'll be the
So what would you
realistic
suggest to start with? Because I don't really like the
SMT10.
RTRs. I'd rather get a kit. 'Cause I want to build
Yeah.
a kit. So
Yeah,
just get
I
the
get it.
SMT10. You were saying there was something else. Are there other kits, or is SMT the only kit? Everything else is RTR.
The monster truck scene is kind of strange. So you can build a truck from scratch with all the monster truck parts. The thing is
Yes.
that it's expensive. Like you'll be dropping $1,500 on a truck all day easily.
Whew.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, it's like $50 for 2 tires. Ah,
Yeah. Well, that's just tires. That's not even the wheels, man.
I know.
Yeah. So
I actually
I
have some wheels. I built a guy a bumper
oh cool.
a while ago, and I got these SSD. What are they? Vegas wheels, 2.2s. I don't know if
Uh,
they'd work for a monster truck. I assume so. They're pretty wide. I
it
don't know how
depends
wide
on if
monster
it'll.
truck wheels are.
I don't know if it would because of the bead locks on the backside. Because it depends on if the C hub will clear it. Yeah, I don't know.
So I got to get like deeper standoffs.
Spacers. Yeah.
SLW. I think it's an SLW. So I
Yeah.
could probably just run a deeper SLW.
Right. Yep. So you could do that, but I don't know if those would be too heavy. Like you'd be busting drivetrain
They
things.
are heavy.
Yeah.
Those
So
are definitely heavy. They're
you'd
They're
probably
not
be
aluminum. They're Delrin, but yeah, they're pretty weighty.
yeah. So you probably might have some issues with because then once you get the problem is that they're 2.2s, but like these are how wide.
Oh,
Let's see. Yeah. So like here's this SEX 1024.
you picked the smallest tire to
I
compare
know.
it to.
Actually, here's a good example. Here's an Amazon wheel.
1.9.
Yeah, 1.9. So
So they're like
that's
2 inches wide, not an inch and a half or whatever that
right.
is.
Yeah, they're pretty stout. I don't know if I have my tape measure here. Hold on.
And they're all glue on, right? They're not. There's no bolt-on mounts or truck stuff. All glue.
They do. They have bead locks. These are 2.5 inches wide. So yeah, they're massive.
So I have nothing. I have one AR-60 housing.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you get the kit, the kit comes with these wheels, actually.
Yeah.
But they're these wheels. The ones that I like are the munitions. They're a perfect price point. They're like $30 and you get the wheels and tires. And those are the black ones that are on there.
Pre-glued? That would save
Yes.
some time.
Yeah.
Ah, all right. Sold.
And those are the ones that are on my truck. I think they look pretty scale. The tires that
Yeah, just the big V grooves.
Yep.
Yeah.
The tires
Classic monster truck tire.
yeah, the ones that you could get from J Concepts are awesome. They're just out of my price point for what I'm running right now. Because you're spending $150 on wheels and tires if you go that route.
Yeah, that's what I was watching on CC. But Tony, I was watching Tony's channel, and I saw that. And I'm like, I guess these are just the regular ones. So it's good to know that there's a cheaper option.
Yeah, I love the munitions. I've had nothing but. I haven't ran those other ones yet. Everyone says they're awesome to run too, so hopefully I will do that soon. But yeah, the munitions are rad. $30 for a set. You can't beat that. You could always paint the wheel out if you wanted a different color too. But so what I would do, I would get an SMT10 kit, and then just go from there. You'd have to figure out your drivetrain. A lot of people like the Traxxas 12-turn Titan with the XL.
Oh, I've got a whole drawer full of drivetrain. I'm not
Yeah.
too sweating that. I got some Holmes. I got a really big Vanguard 5mm. So
yeah,
yes.
there you go. Well, the thing about the monster trucks is overpowering them, and me and Cody talk about that a lot. Is that people? It's
like 35 turn would be okay.
Turn? No, that's too slow.
35 turn? That's too slow.
Way too slow. You want 12 turn, like a 12 turn.
Okay.
If you did a 12 turn,
Titan 12.
Yeah, that would be plenty fine. So mine's the 3300 kV, and
that's a lot.
It's fast. Yeah, it's a little too fast. But then it depends on where you're driving it. Like the thing I like the monster truck more than I like bashing, and it's kind of a basher truck. You feel like you're.
That's the other thing is I got to figure out where I'm going to drive it. I don't have a space yet.
You don't need a lot. That's the thing, and that's what's fun about it. Like you can just, you throw a 2x4 out there, and you can do slap wheelies off a 2x4. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with it. I think my trail is deceiving. People think that our racetrack and all that's big. It's maybe 40 feet wide by 20 feet deep, or 25 feet deep. Well,
my space is like 3 feet by 8 feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, for a track, that's not that big. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, for a track it's not that big, but you've got some cool features. I like that you have the use of the fence. You have that like high line in the back there. That's super
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's like you get creative with the space. I used to have it so where there was on the infield of the track, there was that was where my crawl spot was, and then you'd run around it was kind of like an oval, but that
Hmm.
got boring. So that's why we changed it all to like the outside. Originally, what I
Yeah,
was planning
it
on
seems
doing,
cool.
well, originally what I planned on doing was when you run around the high side on that big berm where Squatch is, I was going to make an
Hmm.
entry so you could fly through rocks on one lane and then come through. But I ended up putting a waterfall there instead, so I was like, we'll just keep it like that. But
There you go.
and plus, we changed direction and we ended up going with those slashes, which is a ton of. I mean, the track is perfect for those slashes. I mean, we've gotten
Just nice and loamy, a little bit of slip and
yeah,
slide.
oh yeah, oh yeah. We put the dirt that we have out there has got a lot of sand in it, so it just
Hmm.
like pushes around and we've had, I think, 5 or 6 slashes out there at one time on that little track, and it's definitely chaos. So it's a lot of fun. But no, I think this one of the things I was thinking about doing is getting paddles for the slashes for the snow when it comes, if it comes, and then 3D printing some skis for the front, and then we could do
I
some.
wonder how that would go. I know I've seen your motor graveyard you posted on your toolbox of all the motors you burnt up. I
Oh
wonder how
yeah,
the paddles in the snow would be because, yeah, it'll be cool, but it's going to suck a lot of juice to
oh
push
yeah.
that snow compared to sand, even.
Right. Well, I mean, we've got plenty of batteries. We've got so I generally generally I
Motor.
run. Oh, for the motors wise, yeah, and yeah, it'll
That's what I
blow up
meant.
the motors for sure. I mean, maybe
Can start trimming every other paddle or something to try to keep
yeah,
it from cooking.
yeah, or maybe what I'll do is I'll just get the cheap brushless from Amazon, the $20 brushless motors, so they're
The
all
cheetah or
closed.
something. I think it's called the
Yeah,
cheetah.
what do the Ghoul RC? That's what we've been using.
Okay. Yeah, my buddy put one in a T4. Ah, that's where the T4 was I was looking for in the attic.
Ah,
I gave it to a friend of mine. Ah,
there you
well,
go. Aha. No, but I think if I used a brushless on there, it'd probably be a little bit easier. Uh,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's been a couple way back when we first started doing the Instagram thing. We had a bunch of snow, and we were driving out on the snow with our. I think we had an Arma and a couple other ones. We were racing out in the snow. And it was a lot of fun. But I think the
Have you
slashes.
messed with yeah
Oh,
slashes and
yeah,
fun stuff in the snow?
yeah.
Have you messed with any of the revolver motors, the outrunners?
No, I really wanted to because of using the Sidewinder. Uh,
They are.
yeah, the only thing I don't like is I don't like the noise. Um, I know. Well, okay. So here's the thing. My Gen
So
8s sound like tanks when they're going. The gears, they just crunch, and it's like just,
yeah.
it's so loud just with that. And I see my buddies that run the SCX 10s, the 2s. My son just woke up. Good morning. Hey, if you turn on the TV, can you keep it quiet?
I was gonna say, can we play this in the backyard?
Sure. Yeah, you can if you want. I'm on a podcast right now, all right?
But then we have to like take half of the cover out
Yeah.
because it goes into dynamic too.
Okay. We'll figure it out. All right. Anyway, so people are starting to wake up here now.
I know. I heard the gate open. It. Anyway.
Yeah. Um, so hearing my buddies run the other drivetrains, they're so much quieter. You know, like I'm excited to hear this Element and to hear how quiet
Well,
that is.
the Gen 8 compared to the 10.2 and the Element, obviously you have the portals, so you've
Right.
got all those extra straight cut gears. So that makes sense why you say it sounds like a tank.
Oh,
I
dude,
don't
it's
remember
just
that out
like
of mine, but
yeah, I mean, mine, and I have metal gears all throughout the Gen 8, so it's like it just crunches the entire time. Uh, I was actually
yeah.
wondering about that also for the Element, why I was thinking about going with the Holmes brushed is because I don't know that I could fit all I have are mod 1. Well, I think I have a couple 48 pitch pinions that I could throw in there, but I generally have mod 1 pinions. So,
I think
and
the kit comes with a pinion. I
Does it?
think. Oh,
I would almost guarantee it
I'm
doesn't come
pretty
with the
sure.
big.
I'm pretty
could
sure
almost-
it comes with a pinion. I think it's a 19 turn or 19 tooth. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. I don't think I had to buy any pinions, or did
But
I?
that's for the 3.125 shaft or whatever, the small shaft, 1/8 inch.
Ah, so you have the bunch of 5mm motor
Well,
shafts.
Well, for the axe motor, I do. Yeah, it's a 5mm, so it's massive. So
Got it. Yeah, that's the Vanguard one I have from a Yeti
yeah,
on standby. So with the revolver motors, yes, at crawling speeds, they're very like,
yeah.
but when you're wide open, it just sounds like them. That's like for a monster truck where you're on and off, on and off.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll try it. I'll probably try it. I have a
I don't-
Sidewinder 4
yeah.
to pair it with.
I don't know how that would run on a monster truck. So you're talking, is that like the 2800 kV or
I have a 25, I think.
25? Okay.
Yeah, I've got the 2500.
Yeah, I wonder how that would. That'd be a ton of torque. A ton of torque in that truck. I don't know. I don't know how that would be for monster truck style. I don't know that I've seen anyone run it like that.
One way to find out.
And how do those get hot if you're running wide open?
I haven't had them get hot. I've had my speed controls get hot. So I've ran these with a micro, and the 1800 is all right if you're like chill trailing, but if you get on the gas, it'll thermal out. And then I put the 2500 on the micro, and I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes, and then thermaled out. So yeah, like a Sidewinder 4 or even a Mamba Max, something with a fan on the heatsink, they're fine. The motors don't get hot. I've had just the speed controls give me fits.
What's interesting, I hear a lot of people going with high kV and only running 2S. So like Tony runs like 5700 kV and runs 2S.
I didn't have a problem when I ran 2S. I have switched over to 3S for a little while, and then I just started doing the LIHVs. So that could be part of it also, more juice.
Yeah. I haven't used any of those kind of cells yet.
The Gen 6 LIH. I can't believe how small they are. This is a 4600.
That's crazy. That's a 3-cell?
That's a 3-cell 4600, right?
Wow.
Where is it? There we go.
Yep.
And then this is a 2S. This is a 2S 4000 underneath it.
Yeah. That's crazy. My what are they? I know I have one somewhere on here. I run the Ovonic 3-cells, and they're tiny. They are really tiny. So here's a 2200, and that one's tiny. I mean, that's...
Yeah. I had to get these to run in the Capra cage. That is tiny.
Yeah, so here's a Sharpie. It's like just... Yeah. It's shorter than a Sharpie, and thickness-wise, it's about... And so I run these.
Fat. Huh? Yeah. The batteries are pretty fat, too.
Yeah.
Compared to my other 3S batteries. I usually ran the Gen 6, just the normal, whatever it's called, the 2200.
Yep.
And yeah, the LIHVs are a bit thicker.
So I got these that are the 22s, and then I got like a 35 that's this aspect ratio too, and they're awesome.
Well, keep that in mind. 2S with the monster truck, maybe not 3S.
I run 3S. I run 3S on mine. 2S doesn't have the pull that I want, but you know, I'm not racing either, so so I'm just kind of bashing with mine. But I mean, this thing will launch, and with a flick of the trigger, it'll change the attitude quickly. Like, it's crazy.
That's cool. Yeah. So can you throw whips on it?
Probably. If
can
I
you
hit
make
the right
truck whip?
Yeah, if I had the right jump, I could definitely. I mean, if I had a jump that sent me up that was a kicker, I could whip it on that, for sure. I mean, I've
seen some wild videos on Instagram recently where it's like they did almost a full barrel roll and then flattened it back out at the end.
Yeah, well, you got so much rotational mass with those tires, man. You know, like so much rotational mass with the tires. So, I mean, once you get, the problem is you have to elevate enough to have enough hang time to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so you got to have a really steep kicker.
Yeah, and so we'll see. I was thinking about putting something out there on the trail to do that with for the freestyle comp, but I don't know if I have enough landing space. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
So, well, cool, man. I should probably.
Alrighty, I'll let you go entertain the children.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. I'll get this audio over to Jeff, and we'll wrap that way. And so we'll just I'll keep you posted if I get that package today, and then we'll.
Yeah, post it up.
Oh yeah,
All kinds of good stuff in there. Chassis and frame rails and parts and.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I've got a lot of build to do. I mean, I've got the Nova wagon. I've got.
So when do you start printing the Nova wagon, or is that still down the road?
I'm gonna try to start next week. We'll see. I mean this coming week. So I've got the 3D model figured out. I just need to slice it up so I can print it. And
that's what I was gonna ask. So how are you gonna print like the front half and then the middle and the back, or are you gonna do like individual parts, like the hood and the fenders and then the main body?
That's kind of how I'm thinking about doing it.
Like panels, like a real car.
Yeah, and then gluing it together. Because
that would be good, because if you destroy a panel, you can just replace one section.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the time, where it's glued is going to be the strongest joint.
Yeah,
where it's CA glued, so I'd have to cut it and do it. But did I tell you about my concept of using copper wire around the seams?
I think you did. Yes.
Yeah, so that should be pretty cool. Like, so what I want to do essentially is for neon signs, you have what's called tie-off wire. It's a different alloy than like copper wire that you use in welding. It's softer, so it's like craft wire basically. So what I want to do is I want to drill holes on where the seams are, and then do these like stitches going across.
Stitches,
yeah,
drift
and then
stitching.
tie it up. Yeah, but I mean, I think that'd look pretty sick in copper on a because it's gonna be. The color scheme is going to be this color, and then I'm going to do flat black on the roof. So
there you go.
It's going to be pretty dope.
Cool, man.
But,
look forward to seeing the prints in the building.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm really pumped to start doing the cage on that. Well, that's the other thing. I'm kind of torn. So there's that. With the frame rails, I was thinking about doing that kind of U4 Baja-esque truck, but I was going to do it with a 57 Chevy cab that I'm going to 3D print. I have a model for that one ready to go. And then I've got one that it's kind of like a hush-hush that we're thinking about doing for my wife for Christmas. So
don't listen.
I know. So we'll see about that one, but I'm kind of on the fence with that. So that would be a third build. And then if we have, I think there's going to be another monster truck. But the crazy thing is we're doing all this like right before Christmas, right? So it's like I feel like I should wait till after Christmas to do all these builds, and I'm asking for a clodbuster for Christmas, so there's that too.
I thought you had one. I thought you had one up on the shelf.
No.
Oh, okay. I heard you talk about it before, and I thought you had it. You just didn't want to drive it. And it was your Eleanor.
No, that it is my Eleanor. I just haven't got one yet, so it's like. I want to get a clodbuster. We have a ground pounder, and we have the S&P 10. So, but yeah, no. For monster truck, I would definitely suggest S&P 10, because then.
All right, the hunt continues. The hunt begins.
Yeah, because then if you do the kit too, putting it together, you'll see how you could. When I put mine together, I was like, oh, dude, we could totally make this stuff. Like, there's so much stuff you could do for it. So much stuff. So just depends on how scale you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing I've had in my head for a long time. It's like, not like prefab parts, but I don't know if you're familiar with bomber buggies, bomber customs.
Yeah.
You can buy the bomber buggy all cut up and pre-bent, and then you weld it yourself. So I've been thinking about trying to do something like that, but how many I can make and all that stuff is coming into play, like repeatable bends and making a bunch of kits.
Well, that's the nice thing about the S&T 10. Take a quick look when you do look, start looking at it. it's made on 2 frame rails, like 2 sides
Yeah.
that have a cross piece. So you're not really, there's a couple that have bends in them, but for the most part, it's like you're basically laying it out on the table and cutting it to fit, and then that's all you got. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of the, I don't want to say like the cheap cages, but like a lot of the mass-produced cages, there's
Mhm.
just a lot of straight bars, and I don't like straight bars.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
compound bends. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you like just looking at it. You're like you can appreciate,
Yeah.
how to get things straight without twisting and stuff. So
Right. There's
that's kind of one
a
of the things I was talking about in my roll bar video is how to keep the bends from being offset.
twisting. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's always a challenge, but
but
cool,
just
man.
adding more bars does look cool.
yeah, for sure. All right, brother. Well, hey, we'll catch up soon. I'll look. So you're going to be on. Why don't you shout out your stuff that you're going to be on Monday?
Oh yes, on Monday I will be on 11 Charlie RC's Hangout YouTube channel. So I think it starts at 7 East Coast time. So whatever that
Yeah,
is
it's pretty
here.
early. Yeah, I remember I was on there a while
I might
ago.
have to sign in at work or something, or sign in later. I'm not sure, but yes, they're 11 Charlie RC. They have a YouTube channel. Check that out. They do a lot of cool things for veterans. Give away cars. I actually built a Truggy and a Toyota SR5 body that I pinched, and I gave that to them to build for a vet. So
So is he
I'm gonna
is
be
he
on
done
hanging
building
out
it
with them.
now, or is he?
No, they got to get a kit still. I think they're
Okay.
waiting on a raw builder's kit. So I gave them a frame and a body. So if they
Okay.
get the raw builder's kit, they could have all the guts for the under. Actually, you got the 10-2 stuff that
Oh.
had on it.
Oh, right on. Right on. Yeah, there it is. So that's what.
But
Yeah.
I mean, drivetrain stuff. If you're gonna give it away, hopefully they can give somebody new drivetrain parts.
Yeah.
That makes a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yours
For
are
sure.
well worn, but they're smooth.
Yes. No, totally. Totally. Cool, man. Well, all right. Well,
monster truck content too, buddy. I'm excited for this little competition thing.
Me too. It's definitely a labor. So we'll see if I can keep up. So we'll go from there.
Alrighty.
Well, cool, man. Thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you on the next side.
Alrighty.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Later.